Busyness is the junk food of productivity. Ooh, it feels so good, but it's starving your business. It can stimulate the endorphins for a time, but it does little to move your organization forward. Let me ask you this question. Is your team busy? Of course they are. Their calendars are a chaotic game of Tetris. They're firing off emails at 10 p.m. The word slammed has basically become one of their primary personal attributes. We see this and we celebrate it, don't we? We praise that person as the hustler, the model employee, but it might be the single biggest mistake your organization is making right now. Have you fallen into the busyness trap? And if so, what are you potentially sacrificing because you're there all the time? Somewhere along the lines, we were taught to worship at this altar of activity. We made being busy the goal instead of being productive, but they are not the same thing. In fact, they're often opposites. There's just something about being busy that feels good. It gives you all those endorphins, but it's all fake news in the getting stuff done department. Now, let's be fair, this isn't entirely your fault. We're kind of like wired to do this. In the absence of clear priorities, people will default to the thing that's most visible. Answering 50 emails feels way more tangible than spending 3 hours thinking quietly about a hard problem. A packed calendar is visible proof of importance, right? I mean, more than once in my life, I've said something along the lines of, here's what I'm doing today, 10 hours of meetings back to back. It's like this busyness is just the junk food of productivity. It feels so good in the moment. It's easy to get that quick hit of an accomplishment, but it's providing like zero nourishment for your whole organization. When you as the leader don't define and celebrate the right work, your team will invent their own way to feel valuable. And that work is almost just always being busy. This is where we need to get rigorous. This is a classic failure to apply the principles of operational physics. We know that every single system, from Amazon to your favorite car wash, has a pace point. That is their single part of their process that dictates the pace of the entire system. It's the most valuable resource you have. The only work that truly grows your business, the only work that leads to breakthrough results, is work done by your pace point. Everything else is just supporting work or noise. That's possible too. When your team is scrambling because they don't have this prioritized list of things they need to do, when you spend all day in meetings, when you leave the day feeling like you didn't accomplish anything but you know you hustled all day long, these are the signs that you're not focused on what matters. Now, I get it. I can almost hear you thinking it. But hold on, the bug tickets do need to be closed. The client emails do need to be answered. And you're right. But here's the critical mindset shift. The goal is not to stop the other work. The goal is to make sure you are focused on throughput, on the things that actually matter to your customers. I know vague ideas are not going to get you through this trap. So here are 3 things you can do tomorrow morning. First, find your pace point. Ask your team this question. What part of our process, if we had 10% more capacity, would result in a 10% or more increase in our total organization's output? What's the one thing that we want more of, but that's always tapped out? The answer is your pace point. Now, the job is going to be to optimize what that resource does day to day and to coordinate your efforts around it as an organization. There's a lot packed into that statement that probably isn't terribly obvious to most people. You can watch that video for a little bit more, or you can catch the links in the description if you want to go deep on these. Now, second thing, declare this new rule. The no agenda, no attenda rule. Yeah, I just made that up. But meetings are the home field for the busyness trap. Starting tomorrow, institute a simple policy that if the meeting agenda is not clear, doesn't have a specific written goal, you are empowered and encouraged to decline it. This is your first, and it's a very simple, powerful act in clearing the noise. And as an aside, if you're attending meetings virtually and you don't have your camera on, there's a pretty darn good chance that meeting value is very, very limited. Because if you can't see who's in your meeting, you almost certainly don't have their full attention. Third, change what you celebrate. You've got to tackle the cultural problem of celebrating activity. In team meetings and public shoutouts, you have to shift the praise from effort to throughput. Instead of something like, Paul worked all weekend and saved ABC Company's project, you've got to say something more like, hey, this was a huge win for the team. Sarah just built a new email template and it freed up 5 hours for our lead developer, allowing them to ship a new feature. Your team knows it's not right to have Paul working all weekend. Nobody wants that for themselves or for Paul. So you've got to change the narrative. You can't just tell them to stop celebrating busyness. You've got to show them what to celebrate, and that is quality of throughput. So you've got to stop celebrating a full calendar, and you've got to start celebrating throughput, because that is what pays the bills. When you shift your focus from is everyone busy to is our pace point delivering, are we actually delivering quality product for our customers? Are we delivering throughput? Everything changes. The noise fades away, the critical work gets done, and your business finally starts moving forward with the speed you always know it could. The latest video I've just made, not this one, but the latest one, super cool stuff. Check it out to watch and learn more.